Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Hi, guys. Staying warm. Good morning, Nevermornings! See, I got to delay it because some of you know to take it off and then put it back on. Nah, no mercy. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming to you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. And Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you by our good friends over at the Independent Creator Directory. That's indiecd.org, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, artists, and musicians. Which you can join the ranks for as low as $40, but a $40 lifetime thing, that's not good enough. I'm not rolling with it. So, because Joe's driving and cannot stop me, here's secret code podcast 1, which I will totally not tell you will give you half off. Mwaha ha ha. Nick, you are poking high-vis dragons again. It happens. The construction coven gets more and more interesting. Now, we are also brought to you by sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of our ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled the sword to teaching the art to others, as well as, but not limited to, the Big Stompy Robots line of books and games, all my assorted fiction, and, yes, and, gotta scroll more. Is it there? There we go. A dark secret has claimed 2 lives and is hunting an innocent child at the edge of the Appalachian Mountains. Only his aunt, a plucky reporter, her cameraman, and a very odd cat stand against the darkness. The forces of darkness. Friends, hates and hellfire. You need to read it if you haven't. You need to read it again if you have. It's good enough that Daphne Lage likes it. And friends, the fact that Daphne Lage likes my book still, it gives me the vapors. The vapors, my friends. Oh. Now, I should get into my accountability, and it's an odd one. You see, the last few days have had 25 below wind chills. So, as Mandy took a couple days off, not a lot was done. We kept the house warm, and we hung out. I did, though you can't tell, begin the digging out of my study. But as my study is one of the colder rooms in the house, I did not elect to stay here very much. I did some writing, which I'm very pleased at. I did some hard looking at what I want for the Historical Fencing Guild. And you will see a bizarre link that, of course, the comments had to split between two reliable sources, to make it hard. But not the green room. Trust me, with what Trelena's been through this morning, we don't need more unsolicited green room shenanigans. But I am going to be making one or more of 4 purchases. I am waiting for the money from my books and the money from my Patreon to come rattling down. And I have asked you, my viewers, what do you want to see me do first? Would you find? Oh, no, we're not doing that. You won't behave. Behave. Okay. Yeah, wait. Whoop. Not you, the internet. Yeah, you don't have to behave because they can't see you. So you could just keep doing whatever you need to do. Uh-huh. We'll see if we can't get the other side of that bedhead going. Anyway, that being said, the only reason I'm not a big walking fro of a shepherd is I managed to get it tied back because I found a hair tie. But yes, River, it is still there, waiting. But anyway, so I have a couple of trainers I could review, including one I put in a request in 2019 or so. Or I could wait and be good and get a charcoal powered, it's supposed to be coal powered, but this is me and my budget. You can't forge on charcoal. Oh, really? Au contraire, my frere. I've forged on campfire. But there's a small, very nice, full package charcoal forge. Now, yes, I do have a very nice propane forge with clean burning propane, but it was given to me by Joey. I appreciate it. One of my beloved guildies went into my garage, saw it, and decided to help by unpacking the many small boxes and then not letting, then they just went throughout the garage. So I will have to find them, which is a thing. And I will make that work. But it's much easier for me to acquire charcoal or wood than it is for me to acquire propane in case of things going boink. Now, the other option. I am going to use a proper term. This is a proper technical term for a device. This device is a metal cutting device that uses leverage and essentially the mother of all bolt cutters to chew its way through very large and oddly shaped pieces of sheet metal. Due to its shape and nature, this metal cutting device does not have anything to stop the end of it. So you could do very lengthy or, again, circular, weird shaped pieces of metal. Thus, it is originally designed by a company called Beverly, the throatless Beverly shear. Now, I know by saying something like throatless Beverly, several of you are having flashbacks to Star Trek The Next Generation. And, in the words of Auntie Tawny, but behave. I want to get one of those as well. That both of the new products will probably require the acquisition of logs to mount them to. This is fine. but I need to know what the guild and folks are more interested in. Short term, hey, check this out. This is really cool. Long term, okay. I have to save up a bit, and I could save up more and get a better version, but these are the rough prices. Let me know what you're interested in seeing me actually do. If you want to see me heat metal and shape it into things angrily, the fact I'm watching my broadcast strength, just is starting to mildly concern me. So I will very shortly be getting into your comments. Whoa. One sec. Thank you, phone, for opening up and running that woman is doing a good job selling her book. I will give you that she's doing a good job selling her book. I was trying to make sure everything was offline. Now my phone is off. I will correct that later. But I've gotten some things done. I've worked towards some things. I am lusting after some things because if I were shopping for me, 2 to 6 of those swords would appear, or so. Anything from 2 to 10 is usually my ordering thing. That's why, why don't you order this trainer sword? It's only $300. I could buy 10 $30 trainers and either outfit 10 people, myself included, or dual wield with 5. Is that trainer that much better? Rarely. So, if you guys want to help me on all that, and it will help the other channel, which is the Historical Fencing Guild on YouTube, let me know. I am hitting the things that I've been trying to hit for years. I am done messing around. My health is knock on plastic stabilized. I mean, for criminy's sake, I have a little anvil on my desk because I'm planning in the next couple days to shoot some leatherworking videos. I am in an interesting place. So that's coming out. The Rapid Rapier is getting tooled upon. That's coming out. I have game design stuff I want to do. That's going to be coming down the pipe rapidly. I'm very excited, but I'm going to be insanely busy just as soon as I straighten this out and I get my study back to something functional. I think I will be taking the remains of the Alec table and either only partially assembling it or moving it out and having to bring back my folding table or something else. Because, things that can get interesting. I have a laser cutter to print set up. I have that tiny 3D printer, isn't it adorable, to try to set up. And then I have the random box of printer. Hi, Dusty. Come on. Get me some views, damn it. Come on. Yep. There you go. Because I'm just going to have you up here. Get comfortable. Okay. Now. So that's my plans. I will be doing art. I am open for art commissions because I'm trying to raise money to buy swords and training things. I am also in negotiations with a gentleman who I saw on Reddit made the sword rigging that I've lusted for roughly 20 years that I shared. And if I could find out either the construction tech plans, which he's talked about sending me, and or the price of the riggings itself, I may just have to order those, which I'm sure everyone would understand, because if I get access to those and Trey doesn't, she will hunt me down and she will hurt me in ways that aren't on the permission contract, which is saying something. You want to say hi to everybody, Dusty? If you look at that right there, yeah. There you go. That little red dot. Well, yes, though they can't give you treats. Hello. What? Okay. Is this what we're doing now? Okay. There. Dusty is the baby? Okay. You want to be the baby. So Dusty wants to be the baby for a moment. With that, important news. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's love. See? Oh, look. Do you see that? Do you like that? Yeah, that's the mount. That is my cursor. Yeah, you like that? No, not really? Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, you really do. I caught you. Anyway, I'm going to run Joe's ad, and then I'm going to get into the comments, and then I'm going to start doing artwork and think of requests, think of things you want to see in the coming weeks. I do need to run this real quick. Don't hold the independent creator directory responsible for my idiocy. Thank you. They suffer enough. Yeah. Should we go? Should we go? Hold on. Well, I got to click the button, cat. All righty. While we're just dealing with the biscuit factory being open for business and interesting observations, do you want to go? You can. You don't have to stay. Or I will shut up. Okay, gotcha. Okay, now, these two comments. Hello, all. I'm trying to prioritize saving, spending guild-related funds. Currently have $88 put aside, and to acquire, set up a poll. And of course, the link got jammed when I cut and pasted it. But there, if you go to the Historical Fencing Guild Patreon, patreon.com/the Historical Fencing Guild, you can vote. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be paid. If you wish to become a member, I will appreciate it. And I am finally getting that world organized a little bit. I am really tempted to bring up Trey's camera because Brett is saying hi. So I will. Yes, this is how we're doing formal business-like arrangements. You see the cat? On the screen, dude. What? They're... Hi! I love you. Okay. You ready to go? Go, be a powerful feline. Go, pounce them. No? I'm going to put Trey back because... will you please stop? Okay. There we go. He put his whole head in my mouth. One, no. To a bunch of y'all, no. Two, is it supposed to be the other way around? Maybe I'm a human train wrecked. Anyway, go to my Patreon and you can you can go see. I'm sorry. As soon as Dusty left, someone turned off the stream. And that amuses me. Like the exact moment he left the screen, they're like, oh, done. Thank you, the rest who have stuck around. Let's go through the comments. At 9:40, Carl Whitman was first through the door, I think. Did Trey say something? Yeah, Carl was first through the door. It's so cold the chat is frozen. Basically. Hey, Nick and Whitman, dude. Hey, Donna. Morning all says Trey. Foxy groggily wanders in right at sunrise. On the dawning of the third day, look to the east. Or in our case, the west. Wait, that doesn't work very well. Ah, it's in my eyes. Yeah, sorry, Foxy. Hey, Foxy, how you doing? And Carl's greeting the ladies. And hello, Kelly Carlisle. And Kelly, because I run Carl's stuff all the time, Kelly is the mastermind behind, among other things, the Atomic Stories, which you need to throw money at immediately. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Unless you're collecting the $200 to throw at them. Now, back to the commentary. Good evening. Good morning. Atomic Stories ebook and paperback have gone live on Amazon. Link. Where is the link? Give us the link. Not the missing link. I know him. We chill. But I almost brought you up for that, Joe. Anyway, hey, Kelly. Yay. Do you have a link, Kelly? Excellent. Hey, to get your copy, just type in your budget. Kelly Austin Atomic Stories, and you will go straight to the page. I'll post links here in a bit if I can with this dubious laptop. I've already sold a few copies of the paperback this morning. Rock on. Get it. Morning, Carl and Donna. We got greetings from Thesis and greetings. That ocular applied caffeine is finally kicking in for Trey. Carl and any contributors to the book, I will get your copies out ASAP, although it might take me a month or so. A lot of people worked on this book. Carl, I'll let you know when your book goes out. And Carl, coming in clutch with that link, Amazon.com/Atomic Stories, Kelly Austin ebook. Get it. Carl, you're too kind, my friend. Thank you. This book looks spectacular beyond my wildest expectations. And that's saying something because she's got some wild expectations. As BKM said, #always promote. Appreciate it. My computer is choking and slowly dying. I'm getting a Chromebook this weekend. Wonderful things to have, even in the background. Mine's been a lifesaver. Carl, your contribution was wonderful and story-wise very creepy. Glad to help. I will be getting some copies to put on my table at the next con. Yay! Morning. Here comes the dawn. Shooby-dooby. Dawn is the masterful mind behind her much-beloved fanciful felines. Buddy and Georgette. I really should see about getting that image on like buttons or something for her. Anyway, and she is the hostess with the mostess behind Indie CD 411. And cool, just let me know I can get author price. Rock on, Kelly. You're awesome. Hey, through me, or you can buy them outright from Amazon. Your choice. Hey, Dawn. Hi, Dawn. Hey, Dawn and Thesis. All right. No, I'm not doing that. You can't make me. Okay, you probably could make me. I'm easy to motivate right now. Very cool. I will start with 3. That'll give me 4 total. I'll pay you. Danged caps. Had to misread that for a second. Because the font I use when I bring up the commentary is slightly different than the font on my screen over here. That makes O's and A's look a lot alike, and I was about to say, oh dear. Don't forget to like and share, folks. Yes! Help me fight the algorithm bot. Please, can I have some more? I would like to, my goal, let's set a goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I know that's way out there. If I crack 4, I'll call it amazing. But let's crack that goal. So guys, please share this around. Like, I'm actually doing a lot of work to upgrade my facilities and my services to people and really get reorganized. A kind of great rebirth is happening in the background. So anything you can do to help. Dawn. Hey, Mick. Again. Hey, Donna. Strip and Calvin say, was that a manatee? Not a bird. Dang it. Ooh, a cryptid. You've seen Joey? Anyway, hey, Nick, because I'm not a cryptid. Suburban legend at the worst. I'm not a cryptid. Joey was declared a cryptid on Purdue North Central campus. There were several people who treated Joey like Trey's boyfriend from Canada who no one got to see because they had aspirations, the foolish mortals. Anyway, who's running this show? Why, I oughta say, hey-o. Sup, Pops? How's it going? I hope you're doing good. Yo, Pops. I will be doing advertising for a book, Carl. So hopefully we can get the book on reading tables. My reading group loved it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And pardon me for my less than flamboyant clothing. This is like my warm Boston-y hoodie, and I need the warmth. And hey, Pops. Hi, Donna. Hello, more friends who've just arrived. Stripper getting yelling. Who's that guy yelling? This guy. I am yelling. I am helping you transcend the hump day limitations. And pretty soon I'll be doing art for your amusement. Good morning, Dan Hollifield. And we're coming up on a commercial time with Dan Hollifield just in the chat. Let's drop a classic as we're spinning up for the art time with Nick. So...
Hello, I'm Dan Hollifield. I'm the senior editor and publisher of Abelian Webzine, the world's oldest free creative writing e-zine since 1997. Since then, we have helped over 500 amateur writers learn what they needed to turn pro. www.aphelion-webzine.com and read not only what we've got going on right now, but 28 years worth of our archives of stories. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan, for everything you do. Let me see. There you are. And today I'll be buying a new mouse for my computer. This one will do everything but scroll. It takes a little adapting, but get yourself a vertical mouse. It will save your wrists, and it is so much more comfortable. Seriously. I use an ergonomic keyboard. It never leaves me bored. I got it on Amazon. It is filthy, but this is what it looks like. That makes typing actually not painful. Oh, dear. I have a lot of stuff that was under my keyboard. We're just going to put that back down and pretend I didn't see it. It's almost 10 degrees here. Yep, we just cracked 10 degrees on my little meter. But with the wind chill, it's probably negative something. Hey, Dan. Morning, Dan. Hi, Foxy. And computer mouse, not a good dog toy. Too many times dropping it, I think, and it's over a decade old. That happens. Trey is working on parks documenting this morning, so she's in listening mode. I had to bug her because, she had there was a bread sighting. Bread. Just hobo secudo. Anyway. Oh, it's done its service, Foxy. Time for a new one. I'm picky about them. I don't like full-size models because my hands are rather small. And my mouse and keyboard are probably at least that old. It has. I will be sad to replace it. Forge on charcoal? Will Calvin get jelly? Calvin is always jelly and dogged. Giggles. And Dawn is behaving today. For now. Dun, dun, dun. You feel okay? Whoo! Accountability. I cooked for my wife last night and will again today. Installed a new light over the stove so we could see the cook. Wrote about 500 words on a news story. Not enough to suit me, but I did write. It happens. Great on the writing, Dan. And yes, we want to know what Dan's cooking. And click like, friends, please do. I need to stretch out the chili. The half pot I cooked yesterday is too spicy. Oh. Foxy retrieves like from puppy, tosses it in the basket, slightly soggy but whole. We will take our likes however we can get them. Add some carrot, Dan. Add some carrot. Carrot sounds good. Like stew thinks good. Sounds good. Hi, Dusty. I was thinking some bell peppers, more tomatoes, more pinto beans. That could be good too. I'm okay. LOL. Ha ha ha, Dusty. That. Okay, Joe. Sorry. I saw a look on Joe's face I hadn't really seen before. And I was concerned in the background, and it was apparently Trey managed to make it sound like a rattlesnake. Dusty is the Calvin of the Tockert house. Possible. Hi, Dusty. Try shoving cat treat through monitor. Hello, Ann Stevens. Too bad we can't email them. Welcome, Ann. Hi, Ann. Wonder if the guests he was referring to were the cats that bust in now and then. Their opinions are highly respected. Describe the sword rigging you lust after, Nick. I'm not without skills in that arena. Okay, what is traditionally referred to as a Spanish Bilbao. If you give me a while to dig out, I can show you something basically the same thing, but not right now while I'm setting up for this stream. I have a love affair with the 1873. The 1783 Spanish. I want to say Charles IV. Colonial, I believe it's the colonial broadsword. It's a beautiful, beautiful weapon. We'll discuss it later. And thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream where creative people gather and people get creative. Hi, Anne. Thank you. I wanted to show my butt. I know Dusty likes to show only cats. It happens. We're authors. We have cats. So point out to me from Emmy one day, did y'all see Dusty's side marking looks like an upside down cat? All my cats are special in one way or another. Some are more special than others. I may someday get you guys the opportunity to meet Snickerdoodle. He doesn't eat alone. He's a special cat. Anyway, hey Trey. He actually has to meow and find Stuart to have Stuart walk with him and stand by him while he gets food, or else he doesn't feel safe eating. Hi, Trey and Brad and Hobo in the Hall. My babies! Is there hooking tonight? I have had it on good authority. There will be the burning is yarn. The burning is the code. The code is burning. Tying up the code. I don't know, but there will be shenanigans. There needs to be a Foxy on Indie CD 411 one of these days. No, there should. Good morning and happy hump day, folks. May the hump be plentiful and warm today. Well, at least y'all are keeping warm. Let me know when you want to do that. Sadly, probably not, Joe. Coughing that particularly activity are not for friends. Oh, boy. There will be a Burning This Yarn tonight. Don't know if I'll be burning anything tonight, but there will be definitely a show. Burns and hooking? I have no idea. Y'all behave. Let's think of something crazy for Nick to draw. Yes, I will be roughly in the near future. And happy hump day and Wednesday to all. Brutally cold. The Gulf Coast got some of the white stuff too. Wow, it's like the climate is changing. Shivers toward Chris. You mean the Gulf of Mexico, right, Chris? For now. Anyway, sadly, Lindsay is not well today. I'm sorry. I will have to take care of her to the best of my ability. Well, that is a very important purpose. Best Lindsay. Poor Lindsay. We are at 25, but feels like 18. Better than yesterday. Mine says 14, 27. Yeah, so stupid. Gulf of America. -9 on the wind chill, waiting for the 25-degree prediction so I can pump up the tire on the van. Yep, like all the bat makers are going to do that. Anyways, away from that sort of thing. Newsflash, heat waves, temps now reach 19 degrees Fahrenheit. We are at 10 currently, and near snow is 17 miles away and closing. See, the problem is we have a wind speed of 17 miles per hour, so our wind chill is very, very, very unpleasant. But, just like I'm not seeing the dash before the number today. I understand that. Poor Joe, says Trey. And this is what I was referring to earlier, if it will let me. I was changing the furnace filter to somehow mimic the rattlesnake. That was an expression I'd never seen on Joe, so I was concerned. Oops. Let's see. Make a few people humor him and other people. The rest of us will stick the time on our name. That's why, if you go to Chicago, for example, there is a formerly world's tallest building. I know they get debating. The name of the building is the WILLIS Tower. As everyone knows, it is pronounced Sears. Anyway, near snow is on my windsill. Oh, no, that was snow falling currently. How about puppies playing tug of war? Might be inspired by current events. Well, we'll see. Okay, gonna run an ad, and then I'm gonna switch us over to some art. We'll probably open with a nice little chillish painting, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. Who needs an ad? Who needs an ad? We need an ad. Oh, you know what? I think you guys, we need this ad right here.
Finally, it's time for the follow-up to the hit modern fantasy comic book, Beowulf. Victor, the reincarnation of the legendary warrior Beowulf, is plagued by visions of his ancestor facing off against his most infamous rivals, Grendel and Grendel's mother. Victor, with his lovable sidekick and spirit guide Moony, the cat with magic powers, must reevaluate everything they've come to believe in this epic adventure. Were Grendel and Grendel's mother actually the monsters they were portrayed as in storybooks? Could somebody be using dark magic in an attempt to resurrect Grendel and his mother in a petty act of revenge? For the answers to these mysteries, plus plenty of action, humour and magic, check out Beowulf Grendel's Curse. This is a 3-issue miniseries, with each issue being over 30 pages. Get it now for a limited time on Kickstarter.
Alrighty, now we are all set up basically. Let's see. Before I forget, I know y'all are going to start saying, so we'll record the time lapse. I know I'm behind on uploading them. And we have Puppy's Tug of War, we have cyberpunky stuff, Ben and the Sears Tower, and it's time for coffee. Indeed. So let's go here. I will be flitting a bit more about with my devices in that today has been an interesting day, and I've been doing artwork on other provides. And while we Sears Tower at night, that is gorgeous. Let's see. While I'm doing this, I probably should run a jam. Let's see. Since I have one album, we will go with the album that I have. And we will hit up with highly and energetic particles boogie, if I can keep it from wobbling. And hold on, I gotta fix the noise. The volume. There we go. Right there. Close enough. All right. Oh, Chicago at night is a beautiful place. And there are a few things quite like shooting down LSD, which is Lakeshore Drive, at night, just getting where you need to go. I may actually have a Chicago trip in my near future. Actually, I do if all plans go well. Hello. What's up, bud? Okay. We will have a nice yellow. We haven't done a yellow one in a while. So let's use this as the background, and we're going to keep chilling. And only been to Chicago to watch my brother. Whoa, sorry. Comment dump is being a little funky. So, let's see. Graduate from the Naval Academy. It was an enjoyable trip. Only if you're indoors. You should see 2 a.m. on Halstead Street. I have. My problem is I've also seen 2 a.m. on Pershing Street. We're just going to add some cloudage coming in. Just kind of diagonally snaking across like so. The part of Indiana I am currently residing in, and north, occasionally gets these really neat ripple clouds that I really don't see anywhere else. Oh, got a comment dump. Let's see if I can deal with that. I'd like to go sometime. I would say Chicago's one of those places where if you have a precise destination and you can get in and out, it is very good. I don't like going without a plan. And Foxy and Chris say hi, Xander. Hi. So now we got to figure out what kind of thing is going on in front of this hall. Let's see. Let's just come over here, get a nice, reasonable dirt color. Hey, glitch for a second. I want to scribble that in so I don't have to deal with fixing it later. Do this like this. We'll just pull this in. Or you keep things real. Yeah, Chicago's the kind of place where too much time can get real squicky real fast. I am due for an adventure out that way, so at some point in the fairly near future, I have to check the dates again. I will be absconding that way. I believe concert type goings are involved because there is a deal where my nephew does not like to drive himself into Chicago. He prefers to have a chauffeur. And he'll cover tickets and gas for somebody else to drive him into Chicago on rare occasion. So that's what got my now rather legendary visit to the Aragon Brawl Room for Nightwish. And I'm going to be seeing 3 concerts, 3 bands. It should be a good time. It's not that I haven't... Oh, that is not the color I was going to go for at all. There we go. There we go. I'm kind of in that Indiana Gothic feeling. It's been a while since I've hit something that had that feel, so we might just do a bit of that. There we go. Why is that being misbehaving? There we go. This thing's just being a little ornery today. Oh, that's what's wrong. It really doesn't like when StreamYard is No, something else is running. One sec. I'm going to briefly adjust this, so give me a second. I'm going to do this. This won't, I'm just trying to figure out why it's having such issue. Because I almost never have latency with this, which means something else is running, and I don't know what. There we go. That's weird. My system is not performing right, and I don't know why. Let me look. No. I mean, it could be a task manager thing. There could be an update running in the background or something. I may have to fidget with that. Okay. Well, there were some updates. Let me check something. No. No. Okay. Yeah, this is being, like, non-functional. I can't do this like this. So what we're going to do... Hold on. First we're going to take... And we're going to stop the music. Yeah. That's... Let me see if the brush is glitching or it's the... Okay, undo. I'm going to try coming back to it for just a second. And no, it is not liking my thick whale. There we go. It's trying. That's really weird. I've never had a latency issue with this. Yeah, it's definitely on the pen side. Let's try something. we'll just save this as Indiana morning. Just do this. Close that up for a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the screen. I'm going to diagnose this live because I don't believe in hiding my problems. I'm going to close this up because it is not being behaved. There should be nothing else running. But I am going to take the task manager suggestion. We did, like I said, we did just have uh-huh. Now, why does it think I have 16 Chrome things running when I know I don't? Okay. That's interesting. I mean, but still nothing that should be causing that level of issue. Let's see now. If that program's not working right, which is fine, I will try something else. Let me see if it's still here. Did it get rid of my... We're going to try this. Now, what I'm going to do, so you guys can see what I'm doing, is I'm going to run a different art program. We're having some technical difficulties, and we're going to just tinker with that. Technical, yep. And my problem is this isn't an internet issue. Oh, you know what? We're going to cancel that. Let's just go here. What this is a program called Paint.net. And Paint.net, okay, what this tells me is that my problem is not my pen, and it is not my it's not my system. It is something inherently going on with my app. And that is okay, because if Clip Studio is going to be that funky, I always make sure I have other options. Now, I'm not exactly artistically straining myself right now. I am simply playing with a new app to show you that you can do the same kind of things with different programs. And what's this? The lady of the library show on YouTube talked about AI writers. Those who use AI will never feel the joy of knowing that they did all the writing. No, I will tell you, it is rather terrifying that the number of AI writers that have been, used, the number of AI generated, and when I say AI writers, I mean there are several sites that are supposedly have been written by people, but they're actually written by a program. And you can usually tell it because the writing is insanely repetitive. But I don't like seeing the history. We don't need the history up. Now, see, what I do like about this, we can use the lasso. Not what I was planning to use, but that's okay. Select now. How do I've selected this. Oh. Oh, that's what I meant to do. Well, we'll do this. Rectangle select instead. We'll do it like this. Boink. Add, subtract, intersect, invert. Selection quantity. Crop. You have to work your different options. And you have to remind yourself, okay, how does this program work? And right now, I am not remembering how this program works as well as I would prefer to. Aha, that's what we have to do. Do this. Do that. Oh no, that moves the selection. That moves the item. So we can now wobble our stuff around. Okay. And then that should deselect. Cool. When we come back here, and I'm not using anything fancy because this system doesn't really have fanciness to use. Oh, there's still a selection. There we go. Now. Where is the deselect? What you see here is me messing around and remembering how things work, and sometimes I don't remember how things work. So I may have to edit it. That's fine too. Oh, hide that. That's a pain in the butt. Because, there we go. Just undo that. What is this doing? I zoomed in too far. This is fun. This is really interesting because now I have to find image, view, zoom out, zoomed window. There we are. Now we can move this. We can twist it, but this is how you animate if you're lazy. You just do something like this. And as long as they vibrate while you talk, it's fine. How do you get that deselect? Aha, wait. I go. Oh, that's the zoom. That's what's surprising. I'm trying to get it. Aha, there's the deselect. Cool. Sorry. Takes a second. Why am I drawing an elf woman? Well, because I've drawn a lot of elf women, and I am sticking to something artistically I am very, very familiar with, while I reacquaint myself with a different art style program. Now, what I could do, and what I probably should do, is check to see if Clip Studio's being Have again, or if it's just not listening. But it is important that we get the idea, and this one, blend mode, multiply. You will see I do a lot of the same things. I can go there. I can come back here. There we go. I can grab the colors. We'll just, again, keep things simple. Brush. I do miss having access to my fancy brushes, but sometimes having the more old-fashioned, let's just make a bright blue. There we go. Tools makes you appreciate the fancy ones. This is why, yes, I can do digital art. Oh, yeah. Roko's basilisk will have to molder me. Yep. I'm just getting a test in real quick because this is what I do. I rotate the tires to see which one is flat. All right. I've messed with this. I know this is working fine. I don't save it. That doesn't matter. Now I have to come back here. Nothing else is running. And we'll try this again. Open. We'll go recent. Indiana morning. Let's see if it's working now. Because now I know that it is not. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, it's not letting my keyboard controls work. But I'm at least getting tracking. So I can work with that. We'll fix that. We'll just keep. This is why a lot of times, it really is being problematic. Something on my computer needs to update. Well, okay. If that's going to be surely happening, I now know that this is completely. We'll save that. We'll close that. We'll get rid of that. Go away. Nothing terribly important on here. It's really interesting. I'm going to have to go back and check some things. So what we're going to do, since I'm having that kind of technical difficulty, we're going to just chat for a bit. I'm going to call it on that because I'm going to probably have to do a restart on my computer. Something is really, really being hinky, and I don't want that to interfere with our stream any more than it has to. I've already gone an hour.
Do you want me to take over for a little bit while you restart?
No. I think it'll be okay. I just come back later in the day if things will work better and do another art stream, because I know you've had a stressful day. You don't,
Doesn't matter to me.
It also will. Okay, tell you what. Why don't you, Joe? You want chat? Right. I will just do this.
All right. Oh, where'd you leave off in the chat though, Nick? Because that part I don't know.
Oroko's basilisk, and well, like I said, temps to drop, temps to rise.
Got it. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to cheat a little bit here. And since this is normally his art stream, we'll get the other part of Nick's art going up here on the screen. I don't know if the sound is actually coming through on that or not, but I'm going to bring that up. We're going to bring that down some. There we go. All right. So yeah, I do have the lovely stream going for printing Nick's BSRs. I do have all the heavy BSRs finished now. Those finished up last night. And I'm currently working on the first plate of the light BSRs. Plan on printing, they're doing 9 to a plate. I'm planning on doing 3 plates of those. Depending on how that back middle one goes, I may have to drop it down to 8 because it doesn't seem like it's wanting to properly print that back support, but we're going to let it run, see what happens. It might just be a fluke. So, we'll just kind of go from there and see how it does. But I'll be running this stream today. There's another thing that I'm probably going to print tonight for the Burning His Yarn. I need to see how big it is, how long it's going to take, because these 9 here is going to take 6 hours, and that's going to put me at about 3:30, 4 o'clock, I think, by the time it'll actually finish. So, depending on how big the other thing is, I may get it started printing so that it's hopefully done by the end of the Burning His Yarn. But with that, so Nick said we left off here. Roko's Basilisk will just have to moiter me. Dawn says the Indie CD traveling table at indiecd.con forum can be found here. Yes, do go to that, folks. If you are an Indie CD member, you can get 2 feet of table space on our table to be able to promote your wares. Discounts for those who have already gotten the table space from her because she's already got your stuff too. So, but do get in on that and get in early. That way she has time to kind of, make sure A, your stuff gets to her quickly, and B, she's able to kind of do like a mock layout and get an idea of how she's going to lay things out there. And Carl says, Microsoft News says temps to rise, then says temps to drop. They're covering both sides. Yeah. It's it's a weird day today. When I looked at my weather app this morning, it said high of 28, low of 21, but it was 3 degrees outside. I don't get it. And we got greetings to me from everybody. Hello, folks. Yes, I am on the screen, no longer driving. I've been home for a little while now. But I had pulled up StreamYard while I was coming back home. Contractor was supposed to work today. They decided to do the smart thing and not work due to the extreme cold. So, Dawn says, yep, I can hear Dan. Good. And Trey, I promise not to come downstairs and make more rattlesnake noises. Thank you. That about gave me a heart attack earlier. And Dawn says, aw, Trey. Liz says, I would not like that either, Trey. I don't have many phobias, but snakes are definitely up there. So it's not necessarily a phobia. It was more of the, how in the heck did a rattlesnake get into my basement, and how is it not in hibernation? There was questions that I needed answers to. And Fox says, my hands are so dry this morning. Yeah, it just being out in the cold, just going from the house to the truck, and then from the truck to Menards to get some air filters for the furnace. Like, it was unpleasant. It really was. And Carl says there are snakes, and then there are rattlesnakes. Fox says he hates snakes, but so anytime we have to deal with them, I handle it. And Trey says, I love snakes, but it would be a really confusing sound in our house this time of year, especially with our cats. Yes, it does make for, kind of confusing time. But at the same time, also, we could never own a snake because you would try living under the heat lamp with it. And I don't think they make tanks nearly that big, even, for, like, the pythons you find in Florida. But next back.
Hi. Wait a second, I know what this looks like. It can't be that dumb category. Apparently, one of the keys on my keyboard was slightly ajar. pretty sure it was one of the arrow keys. So it did give me a chance to fix some of the idiocy that was on my startup while I was going through normal problems. But we should be back to normal artwork if we want to be. Honestly, though, if people are having fun, we can just call this and I can do an art stream later or something else, because it's keeping the hump in hump day. I'm just seeing, as soon as I leave, you guys all start talking about unprocessed boots.
I haven't made it that far down yet, so.
Oh, no. Look. Snake.
Oh.
Either belts or boots. Okay.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I will let you take your show back over.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. Abrupt as always. Now I have to not get distracted. I'm going to run the whole screen here, because that way if I get fun pop-ups, you guys get to see them too. Ignore all this garbage. This doesn't count.
I think I saw that design back in the 90s.
Yeah, it's real close. It has that jazz energy. Let's see if we can get this to work. Now I can grab other colors and do things. There we are. We can do some stuff. That's nice. Over. My speakers are not terribly impressive sometimes. And I didn't recognize that as the music starting. That sounded like that lovely sound of a computer going right before a hard drive dies, or a fan has spun up and something's gotten into it. And it's not the fault of the computer. It's certainly not the fault of Dan's music. It's the fault of my hearing. But let's just let's keep this energy of Indiana Gothic going. And I'm going to do this. Lazy Nick is lazy. Big strokes. Anyway, that's the best thing about the layers. You can do things like, hey, I would like, that was not the color I want to grab. There we go. I want to see how this is going to fit and look, but I don't want to move things around. So we'll just throw some of this on there. And then I can take this layer and just pop it behind. There we go. Now we'll just add some craggly trees. Wrong layer. There we go. Actually, here. New layer. Ha! Some craggly tree action. We'll just do this. Not that. Nick, it doesn't matter if your stuff is awesome if you suck. I know. Now, anyone else, I'd be like, be kind to yourself. Be merciful. And then I say things like that. Really, it's a pain. I love snakes, but it'd be really confusing. Yes. While we do have rattlesnakes, they're pretty reclusive. Yes, where you guys are, a diamondback suck. Cottonmouths suck. And hold on. Story time. I don't mind garter snakes because I know they serve a good purpose. However, I have to make an exception. Like many things that I don't mind them in expected numbers. I was coming back home many, many years ago when I lived out there, from PNC down the county back roads, and I realized that about halfway home, I needed to make a sudden emergency bathroom visit. Now, fortunately, there's a little place called Pinhook Bog, which is a trail. It's a very nice trail, and it's open to the public legally for certain hours of the day. And most importantly about this lovely, nice trail, late in the fall, it has, at the trailhead by the parking lot, a porta-john. Now, it is my family's business to know where all the bathrooms that one can hit are at all times and have them ranked. This is ranked as an emergency use only, but this was an emergency. Run in and do my business. Now, porta-johns are constructed in interesting manners, is they are plastic, but they are layered plastic, so that there are air pockets, right? Big air pockets in the porta-john. And I am sitting in the said porta-john, and as you know, they are translucent. You can see the sunlight. It's not dark in there usually. And I'm dealing with the business at hand, and I'm glad I was where I was doing what I did when I noticed that the shadows were moving wrong on the wall. And I look at this as your brain starts. You ever have your brain not start right, guys? You ever have it just this moment of, this isn't right? The shadows are undulating along the walls at just around eye level. When the sun comes out, it lights up, the shadows are undulating, and there was a little connector, some kind of stopper or piece, yay big, on either side that kept the panels connected, like plastic rivets. I'm sitting there and I see the shadows move. And about that time, there's a popping noise, and a torrent of snakes burst out of the walls, and I am suddenly nearly knee-deep, pants down, because I am using the facilities, with snakes that are just pouring from the walls. The door latch was no match for my sudden double kick out. I kicked open the door and flew, I don't know how, horizontally, pants still down because pants were suddenly full of snakes, shooting a cloud of snakes into the late September, early October, air as the sun is coming down. Checking and de-snakeifying everything as I ran with great speed and grace to dive into my car. Now, once in my car, I composed myself. I triple-checked that I had not brought any hitchhikers with me. And then, looking out the window, because, the snakes might fly at me again at this point. Nick Logic is in full form. I am looking. And fortunately, it was just garter snakes they were taking porta-johns, because of what they hold, tend to radiate a certain amount of heat. And it being cool and the snakes wanting warm, found a way into the air gaps in the wall. I don't want more malware bites, thank you. Making it a nice, cozy snake place. Except for the fact that some silly human might want to poop there. It was a poopin' place that lived up to its title. So amongst other things, I could say those snakes genuinely scared the out of me. Edited for your viewing safety. And I am just so glad it was not cottonmouths or water moccasins or rattlers, all of which the dune rattlesnakes are out there. I mean, literally in the park, I have seen them. So, and now I have my regularly scheduled. I have very little fear of most animals. I have a special dislike of certain breeds of snake. Or anything that's unexpected, I am likely to react with fear first. Same here, funny enough, it's primates. You know what? The show is hosed for schedule anyway. So I'm just going to stop the music for a second here. Let me just get where I can. Because there we go. No. Okay, see. I happen to know a few things about our primate world companions. First off, you got two breeds. You got your apes and you got your monkeys. And among the monkeys, you have your old world monkeys and your new world monkeys. Being Europe, Asia, Africa, all that old world, U.S., and North America, South America, New World. Okay. Yes, there are monkeys in North America. Yes, there are more than they should be, and breeds that they shouldn't be because we're idiots and we import things and then we lose track of them. Right now, in several South American cities, large numbers of New World monkeys have been reported in the news breaking into homes. And you'll go, oh, they're getting food. No, they're getting knives. The monkeys are getting knives for their gang warfare with each other. These are the little dudes who look like Capuchin and all that. Okay? On the other side of the world, the orangutans are officially in their Stone Age. They're not hinting about it. They're literally making stone tools and crafting boats because orangutans mechanically cannot swim. So they are making and modifying logs to cross bodies of water. To hold on like water wings, essentially. This is interesting, but you see, orangutans, they're mostly herbivorous. I mean, they'll still mess you up, but they're herbivorous. They'll only mess you up if given a decent reason. Ditto with your gorillas. Gorillas will wreck your stuff if you screw up. But they're not out of their way looking to wreck your stuff. Chimpanzees, however, are omnivorous, but leaning way heavy into the carnivorous. And they have tool use. And they have complex social structures. And exceptionally limited versions of what we would refer to as morality. Due to the rating I tried to hold my show at, I will not describe what chimpanzees do. Now, most people say chimpanzee, and you think of the little ones you saw on TV in people clothes. Those are babies. Yes. Yes, their favorite thing to do to an opponent, especially people, is unfacing them. It's like degloving, but for the face. I worked within the boundaries of a zoo. I didn't work for the zoo. I worked for a company taking care of the zoo. But it did mean I get to hear interesting safety briefings and learn things. Fortunately, we did not have any chimpanzees at that zoo. There is a rating. If you're ever at a zoo and you hear there is a code color, the rating of that color will determine the dangerousness of the situation. So, like, there's a code green, blah, blah, blah. There might be a cockatoo out or a parrot or, a bunny rabbit or something mostly harmless, Buster, the African gray burrowing tortoise, got out again, this sort of thing. And it gets worse, and each has a response. A code red is something like a leopard or, a tiger or something very, very dangerous to the public. And there are codes, how to catch or how to prioritize capture, how, do you evacuate the park? Then there is a code black. There is only one animal in the American zoo system that warrants a code black. Mind you, this is a system that has polar bears, it has gorillas, it has mountain lions, it has all sorts of things that will do things to people. That is a chimpanzee. And the capture requirement for an escaped chimpanzee is not to capture it. It is to put it down for the safety of everyone involved. Primates scare the heck out of me because I'm a primate, and y'all scare the heck out of me. I love you, but I understand what primates are capable of. So there's my, Nick, aren't you a naturalist? Mostly, yes. An environmentalist? Absolutely. Don't you love all animals? Certainly, to an extent. You don't blame a black widow spider for being a black widow spider. You don't blame a rattlesnake for being a rattlesnake, and you don't blame a chimpanzee for being a chimpanzee. But you also don't mess around. I don't like finding out. I have found out enough in my life on certain categories. I encourage you to not to either. So I'm going to run another ad, and maybe we'll try trying one more time. And if not, we'll just get trucking. So let's run an ad. Thank you for your patience as this stream has been insane. Let's run Foxy's ad.
Hi, I'm Auntie Foxy, and I'm a crafting addict. I make custom jewelry from recycled materials, and Foxy has wares if you have coin. You can find me at indiecity.org/about-auntie-foxy. I hope to see you there.
Alrighty. So we're just going to keep adding to our happy tree in Indiana where there are no primates, supposedly. And to the people who are going to make the cryptid comments, I know you're out there. Leave Biggie alone. The vast majority of time, he will leave you alone. And if you are the type who really feels that it is necessary to interfere with an 8 to 12 to sometimes as high as 18 foot tall bipedal entity you meet in the woods, and you end up getting to find out what your own organs taste like, that's on you. It's like, oh, I'm going to go poke the Loch Ness Monster. Oh, you got drowned? Messed around, found out. It's not their fault. Like, for the most part, if you leave even the chimpanzees, who I have a tremendous dislike of, if you leave them alone, they're not a problem. But then if they're going to make themselves a problem, you need to be prepared for them to be a problem. You know? And what I'm doing here is just adding some bark to this tree that we're up close to. Because I am working on a very simple artistic principle. And the simple artistic principle I am working on right here is a picture is best, if at all possible, when it has a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. And hopefully, they serve each other. Now, let me check the comments real quick. Not a snake fan. Tempted to play the crazy train. Wow. Only time I was ever treated with animal was a hyena. Oh, do not mess around with hyenas. Anything that's a good candidate for what was the beast of Gévaudan is something you don't mess with. You have wild hyenas. And my parents decided it was a good idea to take one summer, take me to Reptile World. No, it was a mini zoo I went to as a child. Hog noses with their dramatics. And there was one room with that you had you walking under snakes. Once the entrance door closed, you had to keep walking till you sounded like my bathroom visit. I normally have cats sitting on Inigo the other day got me in Facebook jail by hitting on the keyboard and making a post like about 1 million times. Oh, did you have to restart the time lapse? No, it should. It should be something I can leave on. Thanks, Inigo. Red was helping with the meeting minutes by standing on the board. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Nick. It's okay. We make whatever part it is, it's okay. Let's stomp on a keyboard. Donna warned me that if the cats knock over her TV due to that me showing them cat TV, she will not feel badly when I have to pay for a new television. Fair and just. I used to be more afraid of dogs than I am of snakes due to an unfortunate bite from a dog when I was very young, but Foxy cured me of that particular phobia. Xander has a bit of a phobia of dogs because he was bit when he was very young. It was literally, well, not very young. It was a few years ago. Time is broken, but it was one of the few times I ever let him go downstairs by himself at my parents' house. And he was playing with the dog and he got nipped. But that's why he has a scar over his eye. And he loves dogs, but he's also very careful, is the only way I can put it. Glad you got to know the joy of puppy love. Your pattern recognition was slow to reboot? Well, you see, at that time of my life, I was not retired from certain positions. So seeing the shadows suddenly move in an undulating manner, believe it or not, my first thought wasn't snakes. Because it wasn't the first time such things had happened. And my fear of snakes just reignited. Yeah, sorry about that. What a unique and paranormal experience that would only happen. Basically, yes. At the time of year when the snakes might be doing that, perhaps, but desperation is desperation. That's why it's an emergency only potty. Went from pooping to potting. Ooh, got to beat a dune rattler on the hike. We came to an agreement that if it didn't bite me, I wouldn't stomp the life out of it. Ah, yes. What is well known as the Chuck Norris clause. And if you don't know, many years ago, a rattlesnake, it was an eastern diamondback, but bit Chuck Norris. And after 3 days of blinding, severe agony, screams, and misery, the snake finally died. Uh, yes, I pulled a and I still react to strange dog runs up to me barking. You forgot copperheads. No, I know copperheads. It's just they're not as common over here. And it's real easy. I am a child of the 80s. I don't go anywhere where the name Copperhead is. I know what happens if you go down Copperhead Road. So I don't go down Copperhead Road, Copperhead Street, Copperhead Avenue, Copperhead Drive. Hey, there might be copperheads on this. Nope. I am not dealing with some snakes that came back with tricks they learned from Charlie in Vietnam. No. Primates? The ones that wear clothes and form governments and religions scare me. Oh, Carl. You can be scared of more than one thing at a time. I can multi-fear. Pups generally aren't scary when you learn their language, usually. Oh, great. We taught our monkeys bad habits. Ha! No. We didn't teach them. No, they learned. Of course, in certain places in the Congo, the Republic of the Congo, chimpanzees have this habit of going into armed encampments because some of them have learned how to operate sort of a very popular tool that starts with A, ends in K, and has numbers at the end of it. Because some idiot thought it would be fun to give one to a... How sad is it? No, it's part of evolution. Once things get... weapons become desirable, I suppose. There are 2 houses with monkeys in our town. We're a 1 square mile town. I am very unnerved by this knowledge. You know, you watch Aladdin and you hear, he got the monkeys, he got the monkeys. And suddenly you don't take it as a good thing. Remember, Apu was totally fine with pulling a sword on some dudes. You know, I think, honestly, Aladdin could have solved some problems by waiting till late at night and letting that little monkey go solve some problems with a certain Jafar fella. What? Just go. Big banana, you solve this problem. What happened? We don't know. He was found dead. I learned many a code color of the code colors when I was running Kmart. Foxy did great. It was fun. No, and I knew what was going on before some of the employees. Yep. Stop that chip before it forms a government. For an army, it's General Ursus. You're not wrong. See, you think this is humor. You are not wrong. Still, no hungry cats here yet. Must be asleep. Yay. The only way I found to capture a Bigfoot is on camera. See, there we go. Dan has learned the way. Thank you for the conversion. Blessed is Saint Fafo the Just. Mighty is her banhammer. Long may it swing. And yes, I do believe justice is a woman. Yes, normally she is blind until she decides it's time to cut fence and sort somebody out. Having been to Yellowstone, seen many a turn, I can assure you people are stupid enough to see a giant animal and I'm going to touch it. Oh, yes. I have been there. I have seen it happen. May you visit those who wish us ill. Amen. There's a good thing that TVs have become more affordable. True. Just shows that humans haven't evolved very far. I think we have to realize they haven't evolved far enough. And our only option then is to try to evolve ourselves individually as far as possible. But also, in the words of one of the great philosophers of my youth, keep that thing on you. Have a good one, Carl. Live for peace, but don't sell your swords. Anyway, this picture just became really, really ominous. And I'm okay with that. I don't like that, though. I'm here for some ominous energy. Let's get it. That's the wrong pen. Okay, I'm going to sign off on this. And I'm going to hope against hope that the next picture goes a little more smoothly. So we're going to go here. See, you get to see the stuff I don't normally do because the file save as PNG, Indiana morning. Yeah, I know. And I have to pull this up. 27. Okay, so we go here. This is vaguely threatening, and I kind of like it. Come back here. Okay. What font is that? Poor Richard? I need my papyrus, thank you very much. No, I don't want Ravy. I don't want Percolator Expert. Percolator Expert is for Resident Evil style things. There we go. Papyrus. And no, I don't know why it's called Percolator Expert. Someone was talking about why Star Trek was so liked because it shows mankind beyond the apocalyptic darkness that a lot of futuristic shows. Yeah, I can use some hope. And that's why I'm being very selective right now about the media I consume. And I encourage you to as well. I will remind you that the great Jackie Chan movies of the late 90s and early 2000s still exist and can be streamed. And apparently my lovely wife had never seen Mr. Nice Guy. Now, she'd seen the City Hunter, which is one of the finest pieces of film ever made. But now I have the little music stuck in my head again. NTF 127.25. Bam. Okay, so we'll be 1 down, 2 to go. This is going to be a long stream. So let's run another ad because you guys have been merciful and patient with the insanity that has been today. And since, since Trey and Joey have been so helpful, I will run Trey's ad. I think. Yeah. Alrighty, we are back in business. Let's check the comments real quick. Don and Carl have gone, but we've still got 10 viewers, so I appreciate that. We are time-lapsing, so a time-lapse has been achieved. Now, we needed steampunk. Not steampunk, cyberpunk was requested. There was something about cute puppies, but I think with all the animal contact, we might want to be a little careful. I don't know. So we need some cyberpunk. But that's red. Because if I do it in red, my brain will say, ooh, that looks nice. I should just leave it and not want to draw over it. So let's just do this. Yep. Okay. You really don't like monkeys? Nope. This, give her some ears. Look, it's not an elf. Woohoo! It's not an elf and not a cat girl. Nick, you're maturing. Are we going for a hawk? Am I going? I'm just opening up with like the. If you like Storm in the 90s, you have to have the hawk. Is that where we're going? Got somewhere between Storm in the 90s and some Tank Girl action? That could be terrible. That would be horrible. And the nice thing is the harder, quote unquote. What's this does? Oh, I would like a coffee drink, please. Because I'm going to need the calories and the focus. Anyway. Because my brain's leaning really hard on the punk side and less hard on the cyber side. So I'm going to have to work on this. Although I am really, really kind of tempted to take her and make her a bit more, how do I want to put this? Streetwear-y. Oh, one for now and one for later? Thank you. She's kind of ripped. That's okay, though. I don't mind kind of ripped. To the people out there who are intimidated by strong women, good, you deserve to be. If tall women intimidate you, you deserve to be intimidated. Okay, so I'm going to do this. It's the wrong girl. What is she doing? Oh, yeah, she is definitely in a power pose. She is definitely in the... Put this finger here just so I can kind of track some things. She's got a little bit of the captain in her kind of going here. I'm all for it. Now, I will tell you guys this. I am thoroughly tempted, and I'm just building the body form. I'm going to put a bunch of nifty stuff on it in a bit. I'm thoroughly tempted to actually do a Discord art show one of these times. And that way I can have the kind of music I normally listen to, which is extremely copyright strike. to fully engage my artness. Oh, sweet nectar of the gods. I'm going to pay for that later, but right now, sweet nectar of the gods. Anyway. So I don't know if that's something the green room types would like. I have to redo that hand. Yeah. But actually, yeah, let's redo that hand in the best way possible. We'll start. She needs some chrome right now. On the topic of cyberpunk, I actually saw a really neat article. I saw an article. You watch a little program, you know what I mean. But about a woman, I think she did a TED talk, who happened to be missing her legs from, I want to say, either the knees down. It was either the knees or above the knees, but I think it was like she had, the technical term is a stub, beyond the knee, so she had the knee flexor. But she lost both her legs. So she got the normal prosthetics made and all, and that's all well and good. But then she realized, why should I have normal legs that limit me? So she started designing other prosthetics and designing literally designer prosthetics. And one thing she goes is, I have 3 levels of height. I'm wearing my just under 6 foot tall legs today. These are really handy when I have to clean and reach things. And it led to a fascinating discussion on the premise of what makes a what happens when the the idea of a prosthetic goes from, what is it? Adaptation to augmentation. And, how it leads into transhumanism and how it leads into, the technology is leading us towards a world where people will eventually be able to be far more what they want. And a lot of people get butthurt about that, and they get upset and they get scared. And I look at it like, I was there at the dawning of the internet, friends. And what happened is you were anonymous, and you could be anything and anyone. So, yes, some people used it to, okay, bye, Joe, to nefarious intent, certainly. But what people envisioned themselves as and what made them feel comfortable was fascinating. And I have done art for, say, the furry community for a very, very long time. I've done, like I said, right now I'm doing anime art. Any of this can lead to different visual and preferred aesthetics, to the point where if you look at like what different cultures consider their beauty norms, they are dramatically different. And how they manifest what they consider beauty is different. And frankly, when people get funny about transhumanism and, well, people aren't people anymore, or genders or whatever, and get weird, I have to go, first off, can we talk about the flexibility of women compared to what many men are perceived as? Because, boys and girls, if you don't know, makeup now allows for absolute sorcery. Absolute sorcery. If you look at what the cosplayers can do, the really good ones, they can make themselves be anybody. I wish I could remember her name, but there is a cosplayer that is coming to my mind who is notorious for doing Jack Sparrow. And she'll do other very attractive female ones, but she's also very often Jack Sparrow. Or, I lost the actor's name, but Lestat from the original Interview with the Vampire movie. The thing about all that being, with makeup, she can reform her contours, the shape of her face visually. And this is without and yeah, no, Foxy, not just ideal, literally goddess-like. I'm not trying to be funky, but if you look at I can't remember her name, but fertility goddesses, your body type in many circles could be considered highly aspirational. Now, I believe personally that certain cultural preferences tend to take over in America, and that's okay too. I have no problem with other people will like what they like. I have a problem when people start saying that you can't like what you like. And if everyone involved is adult and fully able to consent, it doesn't. Yes, the Venus of Willendorf. Thank you, Dan. You knew exactly what I was talking about. But it doesn't matter. And now, right now, people are going to be loud and they're going to grumble and they're going to say, well, you can't do that or feel that way or be interested in that individual because of X, Y, or Z. And that's okay. It's not okay to force other people to like what you like. It's not okay to be cruel to people because they like something you don't like, as long as, again, the protocols are reached. And folks understand that there is oh yeah, she needs big dangly earrings, at least on one side. Yes, I look at the one-sided earrings and my brain goes, you watched Deep Space Nine, didn't you? Nick, your Bajoran is showing again. Oops. I know what I want to do. We'll just put her on some kind of vehicle contrivance. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but she's on something. I didn't want to go full quasi-tactical, what is it? Cool techwear. We'll go techwear. We'll use that term. But I kind of want to. So it's like finding the line of where I want that to fit versus what I've practiced. And I'm just kind of feeling like she's a little grungier than I was planning. But that's not a bad thing, you know? The grunge is kind of nice. I own a Bajoran earring. It's a clip-on, but I have one. That does not surprise me at all, though. I love the different sci-fis. I love the hope of Star Trek. And I do think that Deep Space Nine, while being probably the best written Star Trek, also greatly damaged the universe of Star Trek because it added an influence of darkness that was never there. So the writers couldn't really respond to it. So you hit the end of the Dominion War, and it was so troubling, so out there that they had to do, big time jumps to try to figure out how to work around this. Oh, yes, all the pockets. Always all the pockets. I love giving female characters truly excessive pockets, pouches, and other things. Dan Hollifield, I got to bring this one up. This is eloquent. In some cultures, I would be an ideal mate, not because I have a particular physique, but because of the various skills I've learned over the years. She thinks my tractor's sexy, so to speak. Mr. Hollifield, I have no doubt that in many cultures, far more than your pride and or logic would believe, that you are considered quite the catch, sir, for multiple reasons. Now, Chief, in our culture, largely, it is funny that there are consistent traits that must be promoted so very difficultly, yes, no, so very unwaveringly, and I find great joy actually in watching the process. I like to look back at the vintage clothing people and look historically at what was attractive versus what is considered attractive, looking at the body types of the different ideals. It's telling and it's fascinating because the ideals have changed so much for female body types so often that it's a simple matter of figuring out the right era, and you will find clothes that look and feel good on you. You will find makeup and styles, especially in women, that work well with the faces, and you just have to figure what resonates. Now, of course, I don't care if you want to put makeup on like Tammy Faye Baker, but if it makes you happy, good on you. And I have a lot of preferences. Now, I do believe that especially certain levels of the 80s, heroin chic, I find unattractive because it registers as they are sick and starving. But this is not me having any issue with slender people. If that's your natural build, good for you. Nothing to be ashamed of. But it has been produced rather heavily. I am a competency sexual, I would think, is the best way. It's a subclass of sapiosexual where it's not just I find intelligence incredibly attractive, but intelligence matched with the ability to apply it, that does greatly get my motor respectively running, regardless of chassis, Now, Trey says something really great about they're going through the Captain Archer series. That would be Star Trek and Enterprise and Star Trek Enterprise, which are two slightly different programs in that the first season or seasons where it just says Enterprise were handled much more independently than the later ones. So that's part of why there's the tonal shift is inverse to the tone of the opening. So the opening gets a little faster, and it's serious if you look at the beginning in later seasons, but the tone and writing gets much darker. And if you watch the dorks who are into such things like I am, and all the behind the scenes, Enterprise was ignored largely by Paramount for the first couple of years till it started to make money. And then they had more, the executives had more and different input on it, which is why you have a slight difference. I will warn you, it is an amazing series. It is Amanda's favorite Star Trek, bar none. She loves Enterprise. But the last episode is made of fuck this. Like, they pull. I love Jonathan Frakes, but he did a dirty. Jonathan Frakes did a dirty to us. And just be warned. It's not mostly bad. There are a couple things where you go, that was BS and unnecessary. But, without spoilers, if you notice on Star Trek, the engineers have to suffer greatly and repetitively, near constantly. The worst being the most important man in all of the Federation, Miles O'Brien. But, yeah. Now, let's see. It's true skills and minds are sexy, yes. And a historian pointed out that curvier sizes very much existed throughout the years, but people were more likely to save their working toward clothes than their outgrew this clothes. That is an interesting point. I haven't finished Enterprise, but my headcanon is Dr. Sam Beckett jumped into Captain Archer's body. That's why he didn't make it home. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. Although the important characters on that are Porthos. Porthos is the most important character on the entire series. And then it goes like... I'm torn because I love Tucker. And Tucker is like a proper engineer's engineer. I don't want to like Malcolm as much as I do, but I do. And I am so annoyed. Like, okay, I'm geek rage moment. Hold on. Geek rage moment. We're going to stop the drawing entirely for geek rage moment because it's my show and I can. If you watch Enterprise, they have this group called the Makos. I can't remember what the acronym is, but they're Starfleet Marines. Okay. I've watched every Star Trek except for I haven't finished the animated 3D one, Prodigy, which was far better than it has any credit to be. I really kind of liked it. I have watched some Discovery, but it was kind of grim, so I had to back off because of the timing of it being grim, and not nearly enough Lower Decks, and we'll put it that way. But the rest of it I have seen multiple times. That being said, they had Marines, people who were not necessary for the running of the ship, whose job, when there were bad guys to fight, was to fight bad guys. And there was all this tension between them and like, I'm in charge of security, but you're the Marines. This makes sense. Every other Star Trek series, all of them, except for the Kelvinverse, because God bless the Kelvinverse, it is the best of the Star Trek universe, and we should have had more of it. Darn it. I don't care what anybody says. I love those movies. But, pulling back it down, every other show, Starfleet security, useless. Abso-fraggin-lutely useless. And you're going to say, well, what about Odo? Odo wasn't useless. He was a bad mofo, and he deserves all the love. We're just going to stop there. I mean, does he fall under the ACAB theory? Yes. Dang it, Trey. Okay. Thesis has said, and I'm sorry, my episodes, if this is your first time watching, this is not normal. The rails have fallen off my program so far, I am now taking chunks of them, cutting them, and using them as anvils. Okay? But Thesis can't see Scott Bakula as anyone but Sam Beckett. I understand that. Same here. And then Trey has to say this to me. She has to say, kind of convinced Phlox is Al. I've got a better one. Phlox is Neelix written better. Now, I'm going to say something a bit spicy in Star Trek lore. Not all Voyager sucked. It was completely inconsistent, and there were some real problems, like their shuttle mass production facility was... I mean, they could have won the Dominion War by themselves. They just would have been mass produced, Voyager's just flying around pooping out Delta flyers, Boop, boop, boop. But we don't have enough energy to replicate coffee. But we can crank out some shuttles, you know. Okay. I'm going to be good. Tuvix did nothing wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. See, my problem is Tuvix did nothing wrong. And with all the silliness in transporter clones and things, they could have copied Tuvix, split him, and kept both Tuvix and Neelix and Tuvok, and it could have all worked. It could have worked. But Janeway had her way of doing things, and I'll give her that. The great tragedy of Neelix was they gave one single solitary episode, where it was revealed that not only is Neelix actually competent, but he's actually something of a bad mofo. Because everybody gets taken out, but Neelix and a very damaged Tuvok, the Vulcan. And Neelix starts solving problems. Like Yippee-ki-yay style. Like, wait, Neelix is going Bruce Willis in the middle of the Voyager. What the heck is happening? I mean, I'm expecting him to rip his sleeves off like Janeway did every other episode for a while there. And it's like, yeah, I was a veteran of this war. I don't like being mad. That's why I'm usually happy. Suddenly, the Pomeranian person has depth and character and potential. Right? And he didn't even have to be found in the lobby. But what did those brilliant people on Voyager do? What did those Berman Writer era people do? Give that the episodic reset, cut it off, and never mention it again? Well, that's very, very flattering. And I will admit, I never thought I would say being compared to Neelix is flattering. We are in a very strange 2025 is the more ludicrous era, and I think the high strangeness is very strange. But thank you, TV dinner, but it was hot. Voyager also brought us 7 of 9, who I will annotate why 7 of 9 was brought on the program. I understand the statuesque reasons 7 of 9 was brought on the program. In part because 7 of 9 let my dad shut up during the show for a while. But then Jerry Ryan turned out to be such a fundamental actress. And that set up for what I've seen of her on Card, which incredibly excellent. Like the writers and Jerry did not need to come. Oh, here comes Hui Sang. But I'll bring up the art because I can draw and talk now. I've gotten my geek rage mostly vented, mostly until you guys bring something else up. Jerry Ryan was short. Walked behind her at a con. Thought she was a teenager. I'm gonna say, good on you, and you were rather fortunate. A buddy of mine, back from the old FCA days, learned how to play pool from Claudia Christensen at a convention, like after the convention. Of course, my buddy is very happily homosexual, and I have no problem with that. But there was some tragedy in that. There's a certain tragedy there. But no, I think it was really cool. And yes, I know I'm mentioning Ivanova from Babylon 5, but you can't talk Star Trek without at least flirting with Babylon 5, which, it's on Prime again, guys. If you haven't seen it, just watch it. Now, my friend says take a picture of her behind. I thought she was a teen, so I refused. I am dumb. Okay, one, never feel bad for not taking a picture of somebody you think is a minor. That alone, not dumb. Taking consenting pictures can get real creepy real fast. So it's a situational thing. Even though we live in an era where people take pictures constantly. So I think you definitely did the right thing in that case. And then she was on stage. I'm saying, dumb. No, just. And if it wasn't, you just appreciate her for who she is and what she brings to the table. To watch the Untamed and pay attention. I missed so many things the first time. I need to watch that. And Claudia, someday I will ask you about that because I love Babylon 5. And Babylon 5 had the actress Mira Furlan. And she was, may she rest in peace, one of the most beautiful, poised women I've ever seen. Not for hotness, it was a whole different thing. Like I said, competency is something I find attractive. And she had one of the two voices I lived in fear of hearing. Because three. If Kevin Conroy, Peter Collins, or Mira Furlan told me in the right tone to go do something, regardless of what it was, I would go do it. Like, y'all don't understand. And it's not even like, oh, she's hot fandom. The idea of Delenn says go walk barefoot into hell. Okay. Why? Because Delenn said so. What do you mean? Live for the one, you die for the one. You either get it or you don't. And there are a lot, guys, there are a lot of incredibly bad mofo moments in sci-fi. There are a lot of moments that have speeches and they're written, the Independence Day speech, things like that. But the Be Somewhere Else is the single greatest. I'm a bad mofo and you are not, putting someone in their place in just about the history of film and theater. I mean, it's just, I cannot see that clip without my chest tightening up. And I know most of you don't know what I'm talking about. And that is okay. Because that means you get to go look up Babylon 5 and watch it. And you will have to wait till I want to say season 4 for that moment. It's worth it. On the things I can say that Trey and Joey will probably be the only people who know. Commander Sinclair always kind of reminded me of my buddy Sean. And that's high praise, but high concern because, yeah. And the great thing about Babylon 5, well, one great thing is it was written by J. Michael Straczynski. I learned to pronounce Straczynski. Think about that with my speech impediment. This is love. Oh, V for Vendetta. It's great. Oh no, these are great. The speech at Stonehenge. My problem with the speech at Stonehenge was what my biggest beef with Matt Smith. If that's the one I'm thinking, Matt Smith played the "but I'm the doctor" card way too many times, in my opinion. It was good, but he was always ready to reach out and pop that button. And I kind of felt like he was the doctor who forgot. More than anything else, he's the one who it felt like he forgot who he was for a time. Jodie felt that way too to me, but I don't think Jodie got a fair shake. Chibnall's writing just wasn't there for it. And I've seen Jodie Whittaker act in other things, so I knew she could have done a lot more that she just wasn't given the tools to do. So I'm not hating on her. But when you look at Eccleston's performances, if you watch The Doctor Dances and you don't get a little misty-eyed when he says, "Justice once everybody lives," you don't have a soul. But he tried it. It was good. Doctor Who has some great ones. I think Baker, when he had the two wires that all he needed to do was put them together and it would short circuit and wipe the Daleks out forever, exterminating them. And he agonized over, did he have the right to do this? And he elected not to. But that showed the depth of the character. I'm not... I admit I have not gotten to see the Capaldi era. I have not seen much of the Capaldi era except for some clips. And yes, Tom Baker did. Tom Baker is one of the two most influential people on me on the planet. And yeah, not everyone likes every show. That's true too. Genesis of the Daleks, yes. But it's like, I pick out my favorites. And I watched Jodie, and I admit to being mildly annoyed because the very first thing she does is take a crack at somebody who has a pocket knife. And my problem with that was not only was it that was directly fed as something that was requested by the British government to be put in there as part of their anti-knife campaign, something I'm kind of passionate about. So it literally was, you will put this in here. And I don't like propaganda being added that way, especially to a show like Doctor Who, which should be above that with the ideas it's asking. That, and I had also just gotten done watching classic Doctor Who with Tom Baker and Leela, who on many times whipped her little knife and saved, the world, whichever world it might be at the time. And he begrudgingly, while he made fun of her for being a primitive, she constantly reminded him sometimes the simple answer is the best answer. And I got some love for Leela. She's one of my favorite companions. So that was a bit of a jag. Put her off on the wrong foot. I also was the Impossible Child arc was a heavy retcon, and I understand that canon can be limiting, but and again, this comes from a lot of the background knowledge. When the writer goes, yes, I'm deliberately breaking canon because I believe the canon needs to be broken. So it wasn't necessarily in service of the plot. It wasn't necessarily in service to, the fans or to telling the story. It was an agenda to break canon, which is very popular for a time. Because, it's hard. You have a show that's been around on 60 years. It's a pain in the butt to follow canon as a concept. And I understand that. But part of great writing, especially something like Doctor Who, is its history. So, feel free to comment otherwise if that bothers anybody. I like these discussions. But the great things, the great parts of the Doctor that I loved were the humanity and the honest look at what makes us the best and what makes us the worst, Plus, he was the one hero, and honestly, I've yet to see one since whose his real ability, his real power, the real thing that set this hero up against everything else wasn't just his intelligence or his gadgets. It certainly wasn't his physical prowess. At a time where, when I was watching it, if you asked what a hero looked like, it would be an oiled up Sylvester Stallone dual wielding machine guns covered in brass barrels and, the blood of his enemies. The Doctor was the only real male character that was depicted in my entire history whose real talent, his real gift was caring. Yeah, he's the Doctor. He fixes things instead of breaking them. Instead of, somebody said it and they said it really well, and I'm going to paraphrase because my memory doesn't work that well. But instead of a gun, he carries a screwdriver. His defining alien feature is that he has two hearts. So that, symbolically he can care that much more. And literally my whole life, I was hounded, and I still am in certain circles, hounded for giving a dang, for caring about people who might be different than me, especially now. And the weird thing is, it was always presented as that caring is a female trait. It is a feminine trait. You know, you can't be a man and care. You're supposed to not care. You're supposed to be cool, aloof, all that BS. And the Doctor was the only character I had that growing up was a male character who genuinely cared. And it was okay. So I admit having the Doctor switch genders like they did personally took a hit, not because I don't think a woman deserves to be the Doctor or be the main character, but because in many ways what they were saying is all those people who gave me crud about it were right. So that hit weird for me. And I know this is not the normal experience. I'm not a normal person. Both genius and madness are found in neurodivergence. And I think it's important to realize that representation is vitally important, but it also, if you want people to be the way you want them to be, you need to give them heroes that are in line with that. This is why I will always say the world needs Superman. A lot of times I can give Supes some issue, because a lot of times when he's not written right, everything's too easy for him. But if you want men, to be the kind of people who are, honest, who have integrity, who are gentle, who are intelligent, you have to give them the heroes that do that. And it's why I get so mad at the pattern of lazy deconstruction of heroes. Heroes, we need them. We need heroes because if we don't have them, who can young men and women look to for inspiration? I've never said that other people don't need, heroes or don't need representation. That's never what I'm saying. I'm just saying it needs to be done right, and it needs to be done with love. And we have, lately I've been thinking about what has allowed our culture to become where it is. Where did things go wonky? I think part of it is when we stopped having good guys who were good. When we started showing everybody's an anti-hero. And if they're not, they're hokey. And I've never felt that way. I don't believe in that. I believe that there are heroes. There are people who have the ability to, through their actions and through their integrity and through their honor, stand up. And when the world is dark and the rain is coming down and you don't know which way to go, they take the lead and they show people the way home. They show people a path of kindness and honesty and courage, speaking truth to power, standing there when it's, unpopular, unprofitable, or dangerous to do so. And if you want people in your world that have that kind of nature, you have to give them heroes to inspire them to it. Not trying to be preachy, but I am talking about what's there. On the reverse of the canon challenge, says Carl, writing in a series saves you from introducing the character and the show format. Absolutely. And I do believe that there is always a measure of depth in something that has been given time and intelligent observation to grow and mature. And I very much felt that with the Eccleston era of Doctor Who, more than anything. I warmed up to Tennant. It took a bit. But understanding that the world deserves to have its own way helps. And you're very right, Carl. It really does say you can play with the character. But I think there's far too much lazy writing where, at some point in comics especially, you'll see what if they, it's this superhero, but what if they killed? Or it's this superhero and they're going to fight that one. And I'm just over it. I'm over the good guys fighting each other. I'm over the guys who are supposed to be the good guys, in the real world fighting each other. It's like, just, can you work together towards a common good? And if you say that, the critiques you get from people are remarkably this is normal. This needs to be a multiply layer. Sorry, guys. Unkind. Yeah. See, right here. I've had too much grimdark. I'm ready for a little sunshine. And it's funny because right now, the 40K universe has become very, very popular. And the thing about that is, it's a grimdark universe. But if you look at how 40K is presented and discussed online, it is a there is this almost fan canon version that increasingly pulls out the grimdark. The canon orcs are these, horrible, not unstoppable killing machines that, But the orcs you read about in the forums and stuff are these Cockney goofballs. You know what I'm saying? So I tend to like the more fun versions and then just ignore the serious ones. Now, Thesis says something interesting. He says, probably my biggest problem with Doctor Who, always bringing in new people. My biggest pet peeve is when a show brings in a new character for no reason, especially towards the end of the series. Well, part of the bringing in new people, and seemingly for the end of the series or out of place and it doesn't fit, is whenever you are looking at Doctor Who, and it's written right, there is always this sense very similar to the concept of the high strangeness, where, the Doctor will bump into someone as just a life non sequitur. They bump into this person. And then episodes or even seasons later, they'll bump into him again and have, this whole reaction, or you'll find out that they were very important. One of the better things the Doctor said is, when somebody said, "Who are you?" and said, "I'm not important." And he said, "Really? In my 800 years of life, I've never met someone who was not important before." And that kind of sums up who the Doctor is, and it actually sums up part of what the series, the heart of the series, is about. Because, the companions come and go, and the tragedy of the Doctor is something that's always there in the background. It is the isolation of age and immortality, certainly, but simply aging, because you have to figure the Doctor is more than just his shtick. He's more than just the Time Lord and all that. He's quite possibly the loneliest being in the entire multiverse. But he knows if he waits long enough, all his companions are going to grow old, age, and die in front of him. If they don't die because of their misadventures. Oh, yes. Whenever things get too dark, I just imagine a bunch of kids playing it like D&D and running away. Yeah, I get that. And that's a good mental exercise because it helps. I think when Tennant's Doctor re-met Sarah Jane Smith, we caught a glimpse of why he leaves. He knows that they will die and he doesn't want it to be his fault. Yeah. This is going to sound perhaps redundant, but the Doctor is not stupid. He can be annoyed. He can be ignorant. He can be certainly proud and stubborn and, set in his ways. But he always has a perspective. And again, that's one where I think Eccleston got it. When she says, "What's a Time Lord?" He says, we are on this planet hurtling, spinning at 50,000 miles an hour, hurtling through space at this speed. I can feel it. It's that he managed to, the alien aspect of the Doctor wasn't, he didn't treat it like a superpower. It wasn't like it was a good thing or a bad thing. It was just a simple, constant thing that he remembered and the humans always forgot. And some of the most poignant moments in Doctor Who are the moments where a human gets too uppity. And he has to remind them, I look like you, but I am not one of you. And let's see. Inigo is very curious about my back scratcher. And I understand that too. The other thing is there are so many characters, there's real world fallout. And unlike, to pull us back to Babylon 5 briefly, when JMS wrote Babylon 5, he wrote alternates. He wrote essentially back doors for every single character in case the actor playing them died or left the show or something else happened. So he had this depth of, it wasn't just writing a timeline, it was writing a web of time based on certain levels of decisions that he left the room in. Conceptually, that's part of what makes Babylon 5 one of the most brilliant pieces of not just sci-fi literature, but literature ever, is his ability to hold to such things. Nope. No. Well, kind of, Oh. So it leaves us with this situation. And as part of this situation, we have to decide, which way we want to go in our understanding of it. And I find that fascinating. And that's what sci-fi should do. The vast majority of time, it should make you think. And if it's making you think, if it's making you ponder something about yourself, it's giving you this wonderful mirror, sometimes darkly, of you and the world around you. Now, when we're talking quotes, there was some really great mentioning. And one thing that Trey just said is the word firefly. And yes, Firefly has some amazing quotes. I actually have saved in my useful reference videos file, playlist thing, the little clip of Malcolm Reynolds saying, "Here's how it works. I do the job, and then I get paid." Now, is that the most grandiose quote? Not at all. Is it the most memorable? No. Is it one I needed on recall because it helped me to remember a little bit more of who I am because I tend to forget it? Yeah. Yeah, it does. Oh, I've been talking much about the art because I've been prattling about sci-fi stuff. Sorry, I'm a geek. And yes, that is a big boy. Nearly doubled in size. Oh wait. Okay. 50% more. Still, that's impressive. Nope. Don't like that at all. Doing okay, bud?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you put your nuggets in frozen?
I did, and I ate them all.
Good man. I know the show's running quite late. I appreciate you guys' patience in this endeavor. I could rush this picture, but I'm playing with a different style of doing things. And since my system is now working properly, I get to enjoy it. It's also, a color palette mix I don't usually get to play in. I get to use rough, scratchy, scrungily lines. And I am so glad that Indigo is doing so well. I really am. Do that to fix that. I need black. There we go. Nope, I forgot a part spot. I need to come down to here. I need my eraser back. Now, I do have a question for the chat. Actually, I have several, but I've been a lot more talkative today on specific topics while drawing. Is this something you guys find interesting? Oh, it's fun. Like you like the interesting conversation. Okay. I want to make sure that this is somewhere you don't mind living for a bit. Oh, wrong pen. Oh, that works. I like that. This is a fun one. I think most of us are indeed. Yep. Hey, you have a good one, Chris. I hope you found this conversation entertaining. I honestly very much have. Just have to decide what I want to do. I still try to wipe the eraser dust off when I draw digitally. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna come here, make it multiply. Alrighty, spray paint white. I kind of like doing this. It brings the pictures to life a little bit more. Give them just a little bit of, play with the shading. Internal and external. Just want her hair to really pop. here. Let me go like this. Do I like that? I actually do. I like the warmth. Yep, the bane of left-handed peoples. I can write and draw left-handed. I'm a little rusty at it, but it is something I can do. I just prefer. Oh, that's what's wrong. The wrong tool. There we go. Let's just do this. We'll do here. We'll go soft. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer altogether. That's why things aren't making sense. Actually, I'm going to leave that little bit of orange there. I kind of like it. Come back here. Just zot this out. Go. Not quite the direction I planned to go at all with this, but I also kind of dig it, so I'm not going to be too upset. And like I said, I've been playing with this lighting stuff as a ongoing project to get better at. I think I'm starting to get there. And see, it's cool. The ambidextrous folks. Trey, if you're getting tired, it is okay. You can. I don't mean to keep you here. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I saw you look down, and but it has been 3 hours, and we have. I think I'm about done with her. I don't know. And you know what? I'm going to do one more layer. I never really regret doing this, he said, knowing he would instantly regret doing it. But, boom. And we'll get my big eraser. And we'll get a big old honking eraser, and we'll just... get a little bit of staggered along here. Gives you just not a background, but a sense of the muck. And yes, she ordered a burger. Got a burger to shake. Might be a slushy. I could go for a slushy right now. But I'm gonna go hot pink right here. Add a layer. Yeah, I'm actually adding a layer for the sole purpose of writing my name in hot pink because it just fits. I had been at this for a while. I am proud of myself. And yeah, she wanted a burger and fries. I had burger and chick. Slushy. So, save as Cyberpunk Snack Break. I will actually even spell it right for a change. Sure. Bam. Save that in CS. Woohoo. Export single layer ping. Woohoo. Oh, burger does sound good. I will be having actually left over about a half of a stuffed chicken breast that Mandy made. She like pounded it so it was flat. and then she folded it over like stuffing, and it was some of her fake cheese, and cooked it with garlic and pepper. And she made like 4 of them, and then she accidentally made the best garlic noodles I've ever had, because we had fettuccine, and she accidentally left the margarine stuff on the stove. So while she was baking stuff, it melted entirely. And she's like, well, it won't set back up right anyway. So she just hit it with garlic and salt and stuff. And then just doused drenched the noodles in this like almost medieval bread dipping sauce kind of thing, but more so. It was dead sexy. We're going to go here, and we're going to go here. You know what? I'm going to have some silliness with this one. I'm not going to use my usual font. Let's see. Where's that Magneto font? Although Percolator might work well with this. Oh, if I can't find... Oh, wait. We're doing Cyberpunk. Okay, I know what we're doing. We're doing this. Let's see how this looks. Oh, okay. Straight up X-Files font. Not what I'm looking for. I want something sexier. Not Matsura. Matrix bold small caps? No. Oh, and this should be pink. Or fuchsia, or whatever that color is. Magneto. Yeah, no. Give me my percolator back. We've had enough coffee talk. Percolator expert. Yeah, let's go. Let's go, yo. Yeah, we'll just... Oh, that's too big. Perfect. Actually, let's see. How would it look? Bold. Oh, unbolded. It looks much better. We'll do that. We'll do that. How's that look? Do we like that? We like that. We like that a lot. Export single layer JPEG. NTF 1, I want to say 27. Oh, 129. There we go. 29, 25. Why did that not go where it was supposed to? Here we go. 29, 25. Interesting. Okay. Bam. Bam. Okie dokie. Artichoke. File. We'll set up a new one. Okay. We'll close this off. Okay. I'm going to run an ad. Oh, yes. It is very much time for an ad. But it needs to be... I rated Beowulf. Let's do Somerton Man.
In 1948, a man was found dead on the beach. But he hadn't just washed up. Oh no, he was very nicely propped up against the seawall, very well dressed. But there were no labels in his clothes. They had all been cut out. Very mysterious, the police thought. And then they found, rolled up in his pocket, a piece of paper from a novel. that said Tamam Shud. When they finally traced it, it came back to the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. But it got even more strange, because in the back of the book, when they found that it had been torn out of, there was a code, a secret code that has not been cracked to this very day. When they finally found the suitcase, it had a mysterious jumble of items, some which were very hard to explain. Also in the back of the book was the phone number of a very mysterious nurse. What did she have to do with the death of the Somerton man? Find Death and Love Down Under, a novel by Carl Witzman, on Lulu.com in both ebook and print format.
Now we are back. Let's see, comments. And what are we doing for lunch then? Me? Like I said, when I'm done, I'll have that. I was supposed to have the leftover noodles that I saved. I asked Amanda, do you want these for dinner? For your lunch tomorrow, or are you going to do ramen at work to go with your chicken? And she said, I'm going to do ramen at work, okay? I'll leave you the noodles. And I came out this morning, and she's like, good morning, hi, I love you, and I'm stealing the noodles. I hadn't even had my breakfast shake. I had stumbled into the living room, still getting used to having glasses on my face. And when I'm in this vulnerable state, then she elects to say, I'm stealing your noodles. I'm like, okay then. What do I want? Well, okay, I should draw something from reference. Now, normally when I'm drawing from reference, I put the reference on the screen that I'm using for you guys' stuff. Uh-oh. I just got to connect a whole bunch of messages that I missed from Kelly Carlisle, and that's all set up. Oh, that reminds me. I shared it around. Actually, I don't have the link. Let me look for something. I gotta find something to put in. Where is there's got to be a share button here to make this. Okay, share. Copy link. I'm going to throw a GoFundMe in the chat. My friend Z Neverly, who I've known for a long, long time, and she is a kind and wonderful soul, was T-boned in an accident rather severely. And they drove off and left her there. So she is without a vehicle while the insurance companies argue, but they can't get her any money till they figure out who's paying for it and all those shenanigans. So she is in a bad way. So I am putting up a GoFundMe for her. You can read her story. What she's actually doing is she's taking the GoFundMe, but she has something called a Hooked on Treasures page. And honestly, I have no idea the link for it because I love her dearly, but she didn't provide the links. Where she's she would rather auction off, I want to say fiber art things she's done, than just ask people for money because she doesn't feel comfortable that way, which I actually respect greatly. So I told her I would put it out there, and as I got information, I'd make sure it went to the people who needed it. So I have done that there. Back to your regularly scheduled shenanigans. Please hide that. I don't need that. Go away. Oh, what do we need? What do we need? It's not that I'm not feeling artistic. It's that I'm feeling hungry. I want to feed, but I need to. Oh, I know what I can draw. Good, or are you going to attack me? I I, I know you're, yeah. Hi. I'm going to look at something. I have a reference because I don't want to lose too many of my points. I don't need a. If only I had a reference of a character I designed that I could do quickly. Now, how do I? There's a guy. Nope, there isn't. I'll. Anyhow, I'm thinking since Dawn's not feeling well and she's had a hard time with things, maybe it's time for me to do another picture of possibly Buddy and Georgia. I don't know. We'll see. Sir, can I fetch Georgette over here? And instead, what? Cuddle you and then give you tuna? It's about the tuna, isn't it? Is it really all? But if I don't do this, I won't have a picture for Friday, Cat. And now, well, my net just decided to go bonkers. So, how about I run some ads and wrap it up, and I could do another picture later for Friday because today hasn't todayed. Okay, I will wrap this up and go. The feline overlords are a little demanding sometimes. Anyway, he wants to see the pretty cat. Yeah, he's got a crush. Yay, not me. Sorry about the roboting. Everything vanished for me for a second. Okay. So I'm gonna work on that picture when I get a chance. I'm gonna run some ads and just try to make my brain apparently. You know what? Yeah, we know what we need to do.
It's time to scan, that is the plan, with Carl and Dawn to catch a fawn or unicorn. We're so forlorn, we got a Koepp, so here's our rep. Munsey, we want to Munsey, because we want some points and funny badges with our modern cell phone gadgets. Munsey, we've got to Munsey. Download that app and help us Koepp, and you can play it too. Munsey is good exercise, good for your heart and for your thighs. Dawn is such a lovely lass. Come on, Dawn, get off your chair. Munsey, we want to Munsey, because we want some points and funny badges with our modern cell phone gadgets. Munsey, we got to Munsey. Download that app and help us Koepp, and you can play it too.
Hi, bunnies. This is Robin Yoda, just wanting to let you know I have a Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Robin Yoda. You can catch me there Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific playing Stardew Valley, Saturdays at 2 p.m. playing The Sims 4, and Sundays at 10 a.m. Pacific playing a random game from my Game Pass library. You can also find me Mondays on my YouTube channel, Robin Yoda the Lilac Bunny. I hope to see you all there. Thanks for watching.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel, but otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
Okay, my net.